quite live yet. All right, Unlimited, I'm sorry. I know we're starting a little later because I'm still recovering from COVID. But yeah, we can get started right away. You ready?
Yeah. I've seen a few D-Lo TikToks, not many though.
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah, true.
He didn't even bother to chroma key. That's so fucking easy. That's fucking amazing. For whatever reason, should be full screen. That should be fine. There we go. Fixed. High budget production right here. All right. Okay. This turn off thing. Okay, we're good. Sorry about that. Now this time we're good for sure. Okay. Gonna be where the green. He puts all that effort into this, and then doesn't chroma key the green screen for the sub. That's so fucking funny.
I mean, he probably just found the video somewhere.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know exactly what video that is. I use it. So hello. Hey, I gotta increase the chat size on small. But anyway, yeah. What's up, guys? Who do you got in the lineup for today? We're actually starting with D-Lo. We're going full simp. Ready?
Yep.
I'm about to beatbox on Helium. The sounds I want to try are whoa, 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 whoa.
Fun.
And maybe
That bass probably isn't gonna have much of a difference.
Well, we'll see. It's all about how fast the air escapes.
Okay, this is Helium Beatbox. Whoa, 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 whoa.
So you're running out.
Yeah, he ran out of helium. Huh. That's interesting. You would have thought that the other sounds would also be affected, but it was really just the beginning with the vocals. It's an interesting idea, though.
I mean, yeah, I definitely do it straight after for each of the sounds instead of doing a short little routine or freestyle with all the sounds, just so you can see the maximum effect. But I mean, cool anyways.
Now here's the beat.
Oh my goodness. Sounds
Switch.
not like super unique. The execution. Oh, amazing. He's so fucking precise. I shouldn't curse. He's so exact. Everything.
Pretty sure.
Even the click rolls are on time.
Like, yeah, this was very like to show like his timing.
Yeah, this
Not complex, just very on time, very specific.
100%. This is my favorite moment here. Like that's in time. Like it's man, it's pretty damn good. Start of this one second.
There's a I think his name's 80 Fits. He does YouTube stuff. Beatboxer. He did a video. His most popular uploads, that's why I know about them. I don't watch many of his videos, but they're Helium Beatbox and sulfur hexyl fluoride beatbox. You know, sulfur hexyl fluoride, right?
Yeah, they're the different. What is it? It's the density, right? That changes speed.
Yeah, so helium's not as dense as air. You
Yeah.
And then sulfur hexyl fluoride is like 6 times as dense, so it's going to be a lower sound.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I gotta set up the knife to you. So okay. 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 Uh-huh. Different. Uh I just flip. Okay. Here we go. Sorry, y'all. Trying to get my 916 game to be more fierce. Okay. All right. It's all set. Sorry about that. All right. Next video.
Switch.
Again. That's in time. That's not just like it's so precise. Incredible.
Weep, 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 weep. I'm not blinded by your lights, like, oh. I'm not blinded by your light, like, oh. I'm not blinded by your.
I swear.
I'm not blinded by your light. Whoa.
This is so good.
Light.
Oh my god. he's so good at like, you know, like he is a good musician. Like the way he puts in space, right? It's incredible. Yeah, I'm really impressed. I mean, it's D'Lo, but like there's always like this next level I think that he shows. Like he doesn't stop getting better.
D'Lo style.
Nice. Feel bad for his neighbors.
I've seen a video of like one of those massage guns, like a.
Oh, someone
put it
does
on
it with beatboxing?
No, they put it on a car horn, just like.
Oh, I haven't seen that. That's something we have to look at. This one's super quiet. I can hear it. Me. That's right. For that. Think of it. The double voice thing is good.
Grind beat. Grind.
Oh my god. It's pretty on time. Like it's there. It's a little off, of course, but like it's still impressive.
I mean, a little off, but
One day
It's a basketball
beatboxing.
instrument.
1 month beatboxing.
What is his voice putting on?
Yeah, right.
1 year beatboxing.
Okay.
15 years beatboxing.
Oh my god. I'm so floored. Like
I'm pretty sure it was one of these evolutions of beatboxing videos he got into a Daily Dose of Internet video.
oh, have I done it? Have I gotten to that?
You know Daily Dose of Internet?
No, I've never seen that. I see this all the time.
I said it like you were just gonna know. But.
Yeah, that's my bad. I've seen the like year, 2 years, or whatever. But then when it's D'Lo, it's like it's different.
Oh yes, we gon' fight. Believe we gon' fight. Fight for our right to love, yeah. Boo. Nobody gonna see us get from booty. No matter, no.
His singing
I got you, boo. Nobody gonna see us get from booty. No matter, no. 'Cause I got you.
Pretty decent vocals.
Yeah, well done.
honestly.
Well done. What he's doing differently here in his singing, I just want to like point it out. It's really cool how fucking
Austin and his company were placed with special forces in Afghanistan. We never thought
was a little bit.
No, cause I got.
So the thing I'm liking about his voice here,
I got nobody gonna see us get from booty.
in the instance where he was flat, right here, because his tongue went back.
See us get from booty. No.
So this is something that beatboxers actually really struggle with, because a lot of sounds involve putting the root of your tongue down so that the epiglottis is in a position to like be hit by the arytenoids and or vestibular folds, false folds. And so it's a habit that a lot of people get into. And there are a lot of ways to work around it. And Den is really good at working. That's going to be in a video itself. But the way that Dilo is adjusting is that he is switching his tongue position so that when he goes, like if you move your tongue forward as you throat bass, the throat bass goes away because the epiglottis isn't being put down by the root of the tongue. So it's a tricky thing, but he seems definitely to have gotten better at singing by not pulling his tongue back.
Booty, no, cause I got.
Fell sick the second time. Oh man, insane.
I spent some time this week. I told you about this, looking at like a anatomy of like larynx, pharynx, oral, nasal cavity, all that jazz. And now I'm finally understanding what you mean about, because there's like this molecular space between your epiglottis and the root of your tongue, and so if you move your tongue forward, it's increasing that. And so yeah,
it's super interesting. I mean, I was also wrong. I like swore up and down that the epiglottis thing to do, and then I saw the eyes, and I'm like, oh, so like people who say it's the epiglottis, it's like the epiglottis is the drum, and the false folds or the arytenoids, you can use both of them, are the stick or the hand that plays the drum. So it's not quite accurate to say that it's the epiglottis singular, but it is definitely a part of the sound.
so you're saying your false folds are like vestibular folds, which are thinner than the like arytenoid cartilage, arytnothyroid, or whatever that is. Those are thicker, so it'll make like a chest bass, and then the false folds are like a throat bass, or I mean
that I didn't see because unfortunately the MRI footage that I have access to is so low resolution that I actually can't see the difference between vestibular and arytenoid cartilage. But I did read a paper where the guy referenced both being used to create different sounds, and so I don't know which one is which for each individual sound without like a higher resolution MRI. And I reached out to the guy who took the MRIs and I haven't heard back, so no promises. But we can safely say that either or can be used for different sounds. I just don't know which.
yeah. I think what makes sense to me, although I have not much to back this up, is that so there's vocal cords, and then there's the false folds, which are like throat bass, and then above that is the arytenoid cartilage connecting to the thyroid cartilage. And I'd imagine that would be like a deeper sound, like a chest bass, and you can mix and match. You know,
imagine because the false folds you can also control the size of. There's the, I guess it's the aryepiglottic muscle is on the ends of the vestibular folds. So if you contract those aryepiglottic muscles, the false folds get thinner, and that sensation is what happens with vibration bass. That's what that is. So like, and then I contract the AS. Anyway, my vibration bass sucks, but that's the idea behind it.
No.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. A little bit. It's okay. Okay. All right. Let me move these to. Oh, here.
I sent you a photo on Discord. I like this. Showing what the different muscles do.
Files. Okay, now I can.
Yeah, so top is thyroid tilt, and then you have basic lowering and finding a pitch.
This is a great graph. Because I usually have a hard time. My one complaint is that all of the are top down. It's really hard to find horizontal view.
You mean like medial sagittal, like from the side, like
Yeah, like a side view.
cut in half?
Because like this is great at explaining. Like you see the thyroid cartilage there being referenced, and it really helps to have that on the side. I have a 3D rendering. Sorry, hold on. We should follow up with chat. Have you got a lineup today? Do we have a playlist? I think we can send out a watch together that's not like where they don't have permissions to change. I think that's something to start.
Yeah, true.
Tom Thumb has some crazy ones. We're doing Tom Thumb. Have I reacted to PWAT? I think once. Marcus Perez is probably on this list because he's TikTok royalty, so we'll be listening to him. The basketball one is great. It's probably my favorite. If you haven't yet, I highly recommend watching ZVD's American Beatbox Champion Solo Wildcard. Didn't we do that?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
We did ZVD. I've seen people in your comments being like, "Oh," even somebody in my comments was like, "Oh, you should get him to react to Sonus, or you should get him to react to ZVD." And I'm like, "Here's a link that shows our reaction that we already did."
Yeah. Hold on a second. Check out Dealer's Shorts video. Well, okay, that's a good thing to add. Correct. And then do I react to chat? That's my bad. I shouldn't have taken that long. You have my apologies. But
I usually have chat pulled up as well. I don't this time though.
Yeah, my I release so many videos that people don't think to like use search on my catalog. But what that means is that, and I've done this before, I can either react to it again, or I can throw the same video up slightly edited. So I can take my most successful videos, edit them a little bit, and then repost them after a few months. And people are like one person in the comment, like, "Is this a repost?" I'm like, "Yeah, Throwback Thursday." So, hey, from Ukraine.
Yeah, I think the one with JVD, the one with ZVD, you misspelt it JVD.
Oh my god, I do that too. I'm getting a little bit more careful about the thumbnail title. I had a lot of it automated. A lot of it's still automated. But the new thumbnails that I'm making, I do touch up a little bit. So, and the CTR has gone up. We got Tom Thumb. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Hit it.
I haven't seen like any Tom Thumb TikToks, but I heard some people in the comments being like, "Oh, if you're gonna react to beatbox TikToks, do Tom Thumb because he's crazy on it." So,
yeah, I love he's using a lot of RC505 and Luke. So kind of learning from him about this.
Oh, those highs.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Harmonies are incredibly precise. And then he just does a bit of vibrato. That's so smooth. Giving the note a little bit more of an
It's hard for you. It's hard for me.
okay.
It's hard to do, but set me
The
free.
beat was so fast and so great. And after singing on top of it, that was just a sick pickup.
That's super sick. I can't even like. This is actually a problem a lot of beatboxers have is pitch for the reasons we discussed. Or so many techniques involve putting the tongue down and back, and that's really not good for singing unless you make some accommodations like Den does. But this is so the reason I wanted to play that again is not all notes are equal. They are an equal temperament where I can, play a piano and then every half step is the same length. But if you don't have an instrument, or if you have an instrument where you can do a lot of micro tuning, you can do what's called just tuning, and that sounds so much better. Like so much better. And so that's what he's doing, is that these vocal lines are really, really in sync with each other. And it's not like A440. He's like micro adjusting so that it's much more sonorous. And on the tail end of it, he's adding a little bit vibrato on some of the parts, which gives it a really nice ending. So I'm seeing vocal stuff that I generally don't see from beatboxers. This is super sick. Almost like a whistle register.
It's hard for you. It's hard for me. It's hard to do, but set me free.
This is really popular right now, this doming of the soft. Sorry, I'm just super nerding out. This is really cool to me.
It's hard for you.
So he's tilting his thyroid cartilage to get a little bit more depth of sound, but he's being very careful. And then he's also slightly doming the soft palate, which gives you like a just woke up out of bed kind of sound. Like there's a with soft palate totally lifted, it's hard for you, versus it's hard for you. And that's a little bit of a dramatic difference. But that's how he's getting the sound a lot more lush, without necessarily adding a lot of the power and vibrato that comes from the thyroid cartilage tilt. So he's using both to get like a really nice, warm sound. Anyway, sorry.
What do you mean when saying doming the soft palate? Because I would usually think like doming would bring it upwards.
There are three muscles in the soft palate. You have the one in the middle, and then you have one on either side. So if you dome a little bit on the sides, you're opening up a little bit of the nasal passages, but you're also like changing the actual structure of your mouth, right? Of what the sound bounces off of and that tone quality. Just as you would move your tongue, you could change vowels by adjusting your soft palate. You so that's how that works. And so it's important, I think, to self-palette into those three parts. Does that make sense? Okay. Bands. Next one. Ooh. Oh my god. Mixing live. It's so big brain. It's so big brain.
Danny.
Yeah.
You make it hard for me. With your eyes, the best it does.
Oh man.
But you're nothing but hard to me. Think I love you too much.
Oh man. That's so sick. The way that he does
First aid beatboxing.
1 week of beatboxing.
What's crazy to me is how well he mixes on the fly. Like, I'm not sure if he's adjusting his reverb on the fly, but it kind of sounds like, and then like you were saying, he's got a stereo microphone, and so he pans it like that. The way that he adjusts his lips to kind of higher sounds, it's all really, really cool. So yeah, just super good. It's super good. Oh, I love that thing. So smooth.
I do just love all one take, looping over the same thing over and over, adding upon it.
This whistle thing he does is stupendous. That's really hard to do. Especially, there's no one who's going to teach you that. It's not really well understood.
Nice vibrato in it as well.
Yeah, and that's super hard, right? Because you're doing what you're doing with the vocal folds and the whistle have that, like, it's like if you're whistling with your lips, right? Your folds come in and make that shape. But what makes that really difficult with vibrato is that the thyroid cartilage will tilt, pull, stretch out the vocal fold. So while they're stretched, you still need to keep a little bit of that hold, which is incredible to me. It's incredibly precise. The other thing that he's doing here with these taps, you have to keep, when you're layering this much stuff, and or you plan on using pretty much any beatbox technique, you have to be really careful with how heavy your sound is and how thick the folds are. So instead of changing pitch with like some larger muscle like the tongue or anything like that, he's keeping his folds very thin and then using and so that, especially when you aren't using a lot of muscles, really helps the attack of the note. It's really smart. Hey, please react to Adi Karang versus LT Bro. Who's the guy in these videos? This is Tom Thumb, and Eclipse is the one who's reacting with me. Have we done Adi Kerrang? That
I believe we've done something from him.
Galo UK
I think-
2016
yeah.
championship. Now that would be a good one for the views and stuff. Also, Galo's sick. Is that whistle note? I didn't know men could make that. Yeah, it's whistle. And I also didn't, for a while, I didn't know that men could do it, but it kind of silly in hindsight for me to think that they couldn't because
Yeah.
all the pieces are there. So
Yeah. Have you heard the clip of Dimash hitting a D8?
no.
I know you haven't seen
one
much
Dimash.
Dimash, right?
The guy,
Yet.
yeah, I've done one on him. The guy, he has so many different tools in his kit, and sometimes certain things will not be like as refined. For example, his valve modifications in the Passaggio get a little squirrely, but he's still better than like 99% of people that do it. And he can do shit like D8. He's a really interesting singer because it's like the guy's got a lot of bag of tricks that are hard to pull off.
The craziest thing for me about the D8 clip is that he doesn't just hit the D8, he has like a little bit of vibrato on it.
Yeah. Like I explained before, this is super hard. We could do like Dimash. We can, instead of doing like you show me beatboxer, it's like like Bo's teacher shows student, right? Like that we could do.
I mean, I've watched more Dimash than you.
Right.
So
well, you know, like
it's funny.
You can show me, like student shows teacher, teacher explains. That'd be a fun dynamic, I think.
Yeah.
For vocals, but let's see here.
I'm guessing you did SOS Dimash, or what did you do from?
The one where he's in a blue suit. It's all metal. Can baritones learn to use whistle register? Yes. Absolutely. How you go about learning it, I have no idea. You could probably start with falsetto, which is actually easier for lower voices because what makes falsetto so good at raising the pitch is, one, you don't have to keep everything together, but the larger the folds, the more they can stretch out and be like that. So you can actually go higher as a baritone falsetto. And so I imagine that makes it a little bit more tricky with whistle because you have to thin them out a lot. Put them, whistle to me is crazy.
Yeah, it's hard knowing the exact dynamics if you don't.
I'm set on like learning to sing opera. Like that's challenging enough for me. I can't go and do like whistle stuff, especially because a lot of these techniques are the antithesis of what you need to project over an orchestra.
From what I've heard, it's a lot harder to learn how to do whistle if you didn't learn like before you hit puberty, especially as a guy.
It's interesting. Layla Hathaway discusses that with I guess what you would call, no, it's polyphonic, right? Yeah.
Yeah, polyphonic.
Layla Hathaway is the craziest polyphonic. Period.
Nope.
What's that?
Nope.
You really? She controls her intervals to match the harmonies that she's singing on top of. I don't see that from a beatboxer. I guess they don't have the opportunity, though, do they? Unless they're looping.
There's some crazy polyphonic techniques from 2H.
Okay, we're gonna have to. That's a video.
Layla Hathaway versus 2H.
Yeah. All right. Get into it. Does that mean baritones have the capacity to go higher if they have a bigger vocal track? It's not the vocal track. There's like track is like the shape of all of the bits and pieces of the throat and the mouth. So it's not, that doesn't change range that counts for tone. So mainly when I say that baritones have an easier time, it's because the vocal folds are thick. And so when you stretch them out for falsetto, they get further, right? There's more to stretch out. And so that's why baritones and basses have an easier time with falsetto. Velo UK Championship. I saw it before. I mean, we're just not doing that at this moment. This is TikToks. All right, let's get in. Oh, so fast. His phrasing is really good. Like disco. Right? Straight up disco.
I
That's
can't
crazy.
even say anything about it. It's just he's so good.
He builds those loops so quickly with all of this confidence, and like, man, his musical phrasing and his it's just so good. You know, obviously the techniques are really crisp, but him as a musician, he's really on another level, like in a lot of ways. Maybe you can put Gene there, or you can put a couple of other beatboxers there, but the way he does this is very specific to him, like his stylings and his choices as an artist, like super sick. All right. Oops, that's only two. All right. The files manually like a pleb. Well, because I have B-roll recording big. Come on, explore. Don't do this to me.
I don't know if he's still in chat, but I went ahead and added Frequencies ABC wildcard, since that was a really good one that we were just about to watch at the end of last ABC stream, and you were like, I'm tired.
Yeah, I mean, I had COVID at holy crap, my CPU is getting destroyed. Feedback. My computer.
One of the first reacts we did together was a Marcus TikTok compilation. The sad thing about Marcus is that he doesn't release that much. It's like you'll be lucky if you get Marcus TikTok every like month or something.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that's not a lot. I mean, he did do one with Eric, so that's pretty good. That's pretty. I was going to move the files. That's what I'm going to do. I have scripts that do this automatically. But... Almost done. I promise you this will never happen again.
Wonder what's that? What was I humming with it?
Very close to what we just heard. How am I feeling? Better. I still feel a little tired from COVID. It's kind of insane how long this has lasted.
I'm sitting down today because my back is not great from working yesterday.
You usually don't sit down, really?
Yeah, I'm usually standing.
That's more work than I'm willing to put. All right. This is a long one. Probably could break this up.
Beatboxing.
1 week of beatboxing.
1 month of beatboxing.
I'm not that good at it.
1 year of beatboxing.
Nice texture on the Evo bass at the end.
Yeah,
Go back to the.
what's that sound that he has where is that a vibration bass that he had before? This one?
1 year of beatboxing.
What sound is that?
That's Evo bass.
That's Evil bass?
That's like a super hyoid thing I was thinking about. What I think now that looking at beatbox anatomy is it has to do a lot with the tongue position by opening up space in between the epiglottic fold and the root of your tongue. I imagine there's a vibration in there and like your follicula or whatever it is.
We can probably
area.
look at. I don't think he did full bass though. There's a man who does MRIs on beatboxers and live video footage. Super interesting. This one I don't know. The evil bass doesn't hit that hard for me, but it could just be because it's on a phone speaker, right? It's super sick. The guy who said 1 month of beatboxing, I'm like, I've been at it for 2 years and I still can't do it.
Well, I mean, when your friend is a decent beatboxer and you're constantly together, you know, he's constantly giving him tips and stuff. So
yeah, not to mention like he probably practices every day and I don't. So there's that. Let's go to let's not admit that I'm basic.
No more!
Oh, that was slick.
yeah.
Oh, no, Spencer!
God, I hate these. Oh, I'm cringing so bad.
Yo, hey, bro.
It's so obviously staged, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Spencer, stop! Oh my gosh, it's hot. Oh. Joey, beatbox speed challenge, 0 to 100.
Same video comments.
Okay. Let's go.
I bet that sounds a lot better than it did there. He's so far away from them. That's really sick, though.
Oh my God. Jonathan!
And this is the video that gets me demonetized.
He's dead! No! I will sacrifice you to TikTok. Oh my, hey, John, Micah.
I'm amazed that the kid goes along with it.
All right.
I'm not. It's cool. He's on TikTok.
I guess.
Okay.
I think it's hard.
Okay, you win. Yo! Oh my god, help! Get it off!
Yeah, these are cringe.
He's still Jonathan!
I don't understand the fake challenge genre.
What?
Like, people can't possibly think this is real, right? Like, it's fun. It's a funny idea.
I mean, if you're 7 years old, which is his audience.
Ooh, okay. That looks like one of those, like, really expensive, super hot sauces.
I mean, the super hot ones look like black and taste like crap.
Oh, I had one of those.
Well, might as well.
Respect for that.
Oh, still beatbox.
That was a nice
Beatbox challenge. Challenge. Except for whoever loses has to drink this beautiful, pure, organic lemon juice. Okay.
You know, I hope the guy that lost isn't sour about it.
Nice. Somehow, not as cringe as what I just watched, but
yeah,
I'm just imagining looking into the analytics for this video and just seeing the engagement go like.
Yeah, right after that fun. Both. You don't have to be selected.
No, bro. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be. Yo, Micah. Jonathan, I have a gift for you. Yeah, I'm gonna get it for you. Don't worry. Okay.
Oh, what? Dude,
no, that's
careful.
the vacuum.
Bro, can you careful, bro?
Oh, this is it. This.
Ow, bro,
No,
dude,
Jonathan,
bro, you're
stop,
hitting me.
stop,
You're
stop,
literally
stop.
just whacking me, bro.
This is the gift. This is the gift that he wants to give you. Oh, dude, it's such a nice gift.
Oh my god, dude, there's
What I've
spikes
noticed
on.
with a lot
Oh
of
my
TikToks
god,
is that
Oh,
there's spikes on there.
they have a joke format.
Did you have the
They
gift?
draw it on too long, and they like
Yo, Joey.
give too much dialogue to like explain the joke.
Yeah, I mean,
That it just ruins it.
a little bit. I just, you know, like, I gotta throw in my millennial-ness and say that if these kids were on my lawn, I'd tell them to get off my lawn and give them a lecture of how I walked uphill both ways going to work. Anyway.
What's up, Hannah? What's up, Hannah? Okay. Beatbox challenge.
Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, stop. What?
I don't know if I
Joey.
can keep doing this. I'm not gonna
More than
lie
half
to you.
beatbox sound challenge.
Yeah,
I think it's time to move on.
the try not to click off the video from Cringe challenge. We failed that.
Oh,
We failed.
yeah. I just like good for me as an audience. Like it's hard to make a living as an artist. So anyone is doing awesome. But I can't with this.
When she opened her mouth and there was like the jackhammer sound, it reminded me of there's a Key and Peele sketch, the East West Bowl. Torque Lewis.
I mean, I could watch that stuff.
Chicago State Penitentiary.
Oh, good for Spencer for making money. I'm not gonna watch any more of his like, it's not for me.
What's going on?
Okay. This one?
This is the guy who got first place in ABC for Loop. He also got in for the Founders Tournament and solo. I have his Founders Tournament wildcard next. I like that a lot more than his solo, personally.
I need to talk to you about how you would title the Cringe video. I almost never do Cringe videos because I feel like I don't want to be disparaging to people. But that's the only way to frame that video is like Cringe.
I mean, I think a good is like try not to click off the video or something like that. Like it's a challenge video, just to keep watching.
Yeah. It's like, how long can I keep watching this cringe? And I could do Spencer TikTok. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna need to take another picture that like in an acne. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Make doubly sure. All right. Oh, holy crap. Someone made a video compilation of me. That's bizarre. I mean, can't be mad about it. It's like, how dare you react to me?
Yeah.
Reacting to other people, but it's just it's a strange concept to see that people make content about me. Weird. All right, let's see this.
This is Galosh, and this is my entry for the 2022 American Beatbox Championships Loop Station category. Hope you all enjoy.
Nice. Ooh.
But I've heard his solo wildcards. I haven't heard this one because I was waiting to watch it with you. I did see that it's in 7/8 though, in the comments, which is interesting.
It's well done too. It's not pretentious. Like, oh, look at me. That's really tricky.
Leave no choice. Memories betray you when you're not in their place.
Oh, I love the take.
Leave no choice when held up to a standard. They can't help but disgrace. Wouldn't risk a thing but appeal to peace while criminals and rogues murder under sheets. You terrorize design for the walled off streets, but we will remember.
Nice little
The liars and pretenders. When we burn it down.
Ooh.
Boom!
Oh, that's the stuff. That's awesome. Holy crap.
Leave no sleep. From Boston to Uvalde, the mothers read you terrorize.
I hate to be critical before it's done, but that was.
I mean, we have to address the falsetto. The high. I mean,
this is a simple.
force.
This is just too much air as he's trying to ascend. And maybe you could argue a lack of strength in the quick, but this is too much air.
He's trying to use the same texture of voice he is using on the lower notes that he does.
Yes,
which is really nice. But when he tries to push it, then it becomes like it's hard to hit on a note, and it's flat, and the texture.
The vocal folds together in part because of other but one of the ways they come together is the Bernoulli effect. So as I put air through these paper, they come together. So when you go low, you put more air out, and it makes the folds come together a little bit more and a little bit more thick. So that's why I say it's too much air. So when he goes up, he needs to thin the folds, which means less air. So that's why that happened. Also, just to not belabor the point, this is sick. Like, this is awesome. So
that's pretty much my only critique, is that high note he's trying to hit. I do really like the sort of rock texture he's going for, especially on the lower notes.
Yeah. That little growl he did on top. Really. Technical.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep doing it, because this guy deserves praise.
No choice, been held up to a standard. You can't help but to strain. Despite the stealing rights as the children sleep. From Boston to Uvalde, the mothers weep. You terrorize the country from 6 to 3, and we will remember the lions and defenders. When we burn it down.
Super sick. It's not often that you can jam to 7/8.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense why it was first. It's great for 7/8.
Yeah, this is the hard part about 7/8. Like, this I find impressive versus like when Hiss did the 7/8 stuff. It's, if you do it to sound impressive, that's not what makes 7/8 difficult. It's not hard to count 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Like, that's not hard. What is hard is making it musically compelling and not pretentious. That is an accomplishment. Very difficult. I'll be done in 15. All right, love you. Date night with the wife. Let's get started on the next one super fast.
Yeah, so if you were to like record that routine, if you were him, what would you say to do for the higher notes?
What would I say to do for the higher notes?
Lessen up the tension, go for a slightly different texture. More falsetto.
To start it out, like, because it would take him a while to learn to navigate the high end in a way that's really robust. Probably the best thing would be to start with falsetto, do sirens, and then hold the note and try to, like, I would say jump up and down, because when you jump up and down, your posture is better, which means there's less compression on the lungs. So that helps immediately with having less air, and that allows you to have the posture puts less pressure on the exhale, and that would allow him to get some of the bigger sounds that he wants up high, because it's doable with either a belt or more of a classical singing thing. But he needs to understand how the posture works, understand adjusting his exhale, the intensity of the exhale. Which, by the way, you can do it. Those will give a visual cue. People do those exercises and like, oh my god, no, I know that one. It's like, I can do that one. not a matter of doing it or not. Although if you can't do it, you have to like, learn to do it, and it will improve your singing like crazy if you can do those textures. But if you can already do them, which doesn't take that long, use them as a visual cue. So if you're trying to go up high, and that happens, that's too much air, right? So that's a way that he could do it for visual cue, as well as the jumping up and down as he tries to ascend, to kind of get a sense for what his posture needs to be. Jumping up like this, not like
Yeah.
Yeah. On. My shit's just so dry. We have a lot more technical.
What is that, like a 1 on the Bristol stool scale, or?
What's that?
I was saying like a 1 on the Bristol stool scale. Said your shit's so dry.
Oh. Yes. Clearly I need some laxative. And olive oil. Yeah, we don't have to expand. Love you guys. I would like to give you to give an expert opinion on beatbox. Don't exactly know what that
which one?
I would like you to give. I think what Amir is saying, correct me if I'm wrong, Amir, what you're saying is you had your request, right? And you would love to hear that because I want to answer you. So if that's what you're meaning.
Yeah, maybe his,
because he has the 2016.
Yeah, and then he also said Marcus after that.
Gotcha. Spencer X has a nice sound and texture, but it's so sometimes his editing. Yeah.
I mean, it's working for him, so
yeah.
why stop?
Like, do that. The only problem is that he's got to age with his audience. That's hard.
Yeah.
Marcus says basics are very. I like Marcus's sound a lot. Short 5 levels of death. I think we just did that, didn't we? 5 levels of. No, I think we did 5 levels.
Yeah. We haven't seen that.
Okay.
But let's
get it
because you have to go. Just these last 2 for the last video of ABC wildcards. Yep.
It's got a file. Okay. Let's do it.
I think he got 8th for founders out of 16.
Okay. Ooh. A snare while using control. Slick.
Sometimes I feel like a lucky guy, and sometimes I don't or won't. Try so hard to find anyone who won't take my faults and just wash them away. I'm waiting.
Wow, that's very difficult.
For someone. I'm waiting for someone. We're waiting.
Oh man. That's sick. Oh there's so much here that makes this really, really hard. He's a lot of what he's doing. Like I think this is not a new idea to people who listen to a lot of beatbox, but you know, one part of his body is making a sound while the other is making a sound simultaneously, like the whistle and the K snare. Except I can't whistle. But the thing that really impresses me, we just talked about with going from singing to throat bass, it's actually quite challenging. So show that real quick.
A lucky guy, and sometimes I don't or won't try so hard to find anyone who won't take my faults and just wash them away. I'm waiting.
That is very, very difficult. So you can actually hear it in the very first throat bass there. It sounds kind of weak. And there's a reason why that is. He corrects it right away. It's very difficult.
So hard to find anyone who won't take my faults.
That. Now it could be that that's the sound he wanted, right? He didn't want to go in and hit as hard as he can, which he's a great musician, so that's probably what happened. But what makes that challenging is when you sing in that way, he's singing super clean. That means the tongue is forward. But to do throat bass, the heel of the tongue needs to push down the epiglottis so that the false folds and the arytenoid cartilage can actually reach them and rattle on. Think of it, it's like the epiglottis is a drum, the false folds and arytenoids are like the hand, right? And so to do this, you have to be able to bring your tongue back and then bring it forward, like really quickly. And he does that in particular right here. This is super sick.
For someone, I'm waiting for someone, we're waiting.
Oh, that's a...
I mean, that's just, I mean, come on. Like,
I think that's a throat whistle with the, you know.
Okay, I didn't know you could do a throat
Cheek.
whistle. That's actually insane. That's crazy to me. I didn't know. Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure you said the exact same thing when I said something about a throat whistle when Bizkit was doing it, or maybe it was Pono. You were like, I didn't even know you could do a throat whistle.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Deja vu.
I have a terrible memory for one, but also, like you get a whistle sound by making something very tiny. So like the idea that you can contract your throat in such a way that gives like a little opening is hard for me to visualize. I don't doubt it's true, but it's really fucking cool.
Yeah, I mentioned last time it's the similar sort of sound like when your throat is inflamed and it's very tight. So being able to replicate that without the inflammation, obviously.
Stuff is crazy. We finished this track, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe. Yeah. And it's just this next guy. The rest of the
Oh man, turning my head like that, not fun. Oh.
Yeah, that bass he does, I'm quite certain I like slipped into it sometimes, but it's just I've never like tried to hit it and like perfect it just because it's a pretty painful sound, and I'm sure it sounds pretty.
Hey, what's up, Joel?
That there.
This is so sick. Yeah, I imagine that's just like vibration bass, like to the extreme, right? Because it sounds like the false folds are hitting, but it sounds like they're like super thinned out, which makes me think the epiglottic muscles are contracting, and that's my best guess. But that's not comfortable to do at all up that high. So at least like I can't do it. Anyway, so super cool. It's legit. Next one.
What's up?
So,
My name is Frequency.
I'm pretty short.
Right. My wife. Ready?
This guy was in the chat earlier today asking what the lineup was for today.
Oh, really?
So,
that's awesome.
yeah. And this was the next ABC wildcard I was going to show you one stream when you're like, oh, I'm tired. And I'm like, oh, what such a sick wildcard. Anyways.
What's up? My name is Frequency. I'm from Texas, and this is my American Beatbox Championships 2022 wildcard. Enjoy.
First I've seen from this guy as well.
You don't want to get these hands, boy.
Oh my god. What even is that? Oh my god.
You don't want to get these hands, boy.
That's probably good.
Oh my god. Is that Popeye Days? Huh? Is that Popeye Days?
You don't want to get these hands, boy.
Ooh boy. Oh my god.
What? You don't want to get these hands, boy.
Oh my god.
I do love that low polyphonic.
It's so good. Oh my god. That is sick for so many reasons.
Yo.
The polyphonic thing is I've never heard somebody get polyphonic that low. That's so sick.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do. So low notes take more air, right, in order to bring the folds together and have them be a little bit more thick. And so to be able to do that, but then also have a polyphonic, like he's singing higher and then doing something lower. So it's like, it's this mix and match. That seems like it would be very, very hard. This bass sound, that's the Popeye bass right here. Give this man some spinach.
Okay, now I get the joke.
That.
I mean, it's clearly with the tongue, like inward. I imagine, since it sounds pretty bassy, there's also some like inward bass-esque thing on top of it.
This is what I love about beatboxing, is that like I'm the guy who follows something. Like I'm not the innovator. I've never been that way, but I like theory. And I like, that's how I like to learn singing and stuff like that. And I love that even with a dude in the scientist, or at least the PhD candidate who I showed you those MRIs from, he lists a bunch of sounds, but he doesn't have everything. So like they need to get more beatboxers into the MRI, like doing all these crazy sounds, because like that's what we need in order to figure out how some of these things are done. We can take guesses, but we don't actually know. And that is very exciting. This guy's a BAMF. That's so sick.
We need to like hire what the hell are they called? The ENTs the Aura.
Is
otorhinolaryngologist. Yeah.
I would
Something
be.
like that.
What is it?
Just get one of those guys over to GBB with a little setup. Have some of the best beatboxers be like scheduled for like these little things, and
bring the MRI machine, like
to the beatbox,
the laryngoscope.
Yeah.
I would love like if someone who is really deep in phoniatronics, I would love their feedback. Phoniatronics just being like vocal and what makes the noise, right? So Ingo tits and all that, but yeah, absolutely crazy. Just, it's super cool. And the reason I hope beatboxing gets bigger so that these folks can like earn a reliable thing. This is insane.
I mean, with how much beatbox is growing, how rapidly, it's only a matter of time before someone with some amount of money sponsors things, and I mean, with how many viewers it's going to be getting, also not even beatbox related sponsors like Boss are just going to be the only people sponsoring beatbox events anymore.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I think that the reason why we don't see, I think, a lot of sponsors at this moment in time is the demographic of beatboxing skews very, very young. So there's not a lot of buying power. But the people who do beatboxing growing up still do beatboxing. Like they don't leave the hobby. There's a very high retention. And so like you see all of that. And so as time goes on, the CPMs will be higher for beatbox, and the sponsorships will be more numerous and more lucrative. But I think until the demo ages, we're going to be hard pressed to see a similar investment like the one that Boss has. Although
it's going to be Raid Shadow Legends sponsors GBB.
Exactly. Raid Shadow Legends sponsors GBB. One of the things I'm excited for to see more of like technology and like really premium products being used, like the Mark II. As many problems as people have been having with the Mark II, the track we listened to today with that looping from Lucky Guy, right? Lucky Guy? Is it
Lucky Guy was the routine? It's Galosh.
Okay. Galosh. All right. Galosh the beatboxer. Like without a Mark II, he can't do what he did. And like the way that you have the effects on the Mark II and the freedom you have of switching between quickly, like turning all of the sounds into like super crazy, like saw waves or whatever. Like you need the Mark II for that. So as many problems as it's had. So I'm excited for
finally Brez earlier today finally put out like a 23-minute review of the
Mark II
Boss of the Mark II, and the thumbnail's just like, don't buy it.
Yeah, I know how he feels about the Mark II. I don't share. I will say this. There comes a point in time where having a DAW and plugins gives you infinitely more options than like the extended effects that we're seeing with the Mark II. Because the
like
RC505,
a MIDI controller.
Yeah. Or like, having a 2PC setup like 505. It is most definitely more expensive, for sure. I mean, the RC505 is like $500 still.
Yeah.
It's like never going down. And then the Mark II is like $750. There comes a point in time where computers can do that work with a lot more versatility. Maybe not in such a nice, reliable package as the loopers, but I don't know what they're going to do like with the Mark III or it's going to make it wild. Okay, I gotta be with my wife because it's the last day she's here for a while.
So you must react to beatbox.
I'm always hyped when any video 7 of roughly. Yeah, 7 if we include the last one that talking. Which I'll just title like sponsors, boss sponsorships, and the problems with or something like that. No, I shouldn't say the problem with boss sponsorships because then I'll never get sponsored by boss. And I should really want sponsors or boss sponsorships because it's really relatable. Anyway, charming. I'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.